inauguration taking place at the normal place, a square which can contain crowd or many people, Soludo is settling for one of the buildings, I think inside the government house or so, and only 50 people are expected. When you have an economist, a foremost economist as your governor, is this a right step in the right direction? What awaits in the Anambra?
It's not about in the Anambra, it's about everybody in Nigeria.
Okay.
We used to complain that we should cut the cost of governance. I think in trying to cut the cost of governance is starting from the beginning. Like they say in Yoruba, if the donkey jumps down from the tree, it begins to run. It doesn't have to take a pause. So it's not taking a pause. I say it's going full blast. And that is the indication of what to expect anyway, that there will not be frivolity when it comes to, I pray he sustains it. But see, if it begins this way and he sustains it, because the essence of inauguration is just to formally hand over. You take oath of office. You don't need people to take oath of office. You don't need so many people to take oath of office, because they will not be helping him to take oath of office, and they will not be helping him to say amen to whatever causes or to whatever prayer he has incurred or is inviting unto himself. All they need to do is to clap, and you see people dancing, the people are clapping, not for themselves. And necessarily, when such a thing happens, there will be some places for people to have refreshment at the cost of government anyway. Maybe the outgoing government, but it has to come from the people's, the government purse. Because it's always like that. And you have as well be people putting on this, putting on that, and at the end of the day, there are so many things associated. But if you say, I want to take oath of office in a very solemn manner, with only 50 people, so as to know that I took oath of office. That is one. The issue of having to spend government money, he by now would have availed himself of what is in the covers of the government. And what has been the tradition, they will tell him, you have to earmark money for this, earmark money for that. So if you total the money together, it could be an avenue for people to also steal money. If he believes that is the way, like for his inauguration, we spent close to about 800 million naira. But he won't be able to question the outgoing governor or the outgone governor. How come you spent? I didn't see anything on ground. But this money had been expended, and he would have expended, he would have put his signature on the expenditure. So on the basis of this, if he finds that if he finds that that could be one of the reasons, if he finds that that is the reason, and he wants to curtail that, doesn't want to have any friction with, because when you get that, you now begin to question. That is when the whole budget of the inauguration will now go come to your table.
So you agree with this, that Soludo is
definitely. I think we are the one, like somebody used to say, we want, you cannot eat your cake and have it.
Okay.
If you want the cost of governance to be cut, you have to start from somewhere. So now that is in the saddle, and is the one owing the reins of power, he will know better than us.
Okay.
It is, I want to believe sincerely, I know that it is for the benefit of Anambra people.
Okay.
Cost-wise, yes.
And the prayer is that he sustains this.
No, definitely. I pray he does.
Okay.
I pray he does.
Okay. Let's.
It could be the proper channel to go. If he does this and is successful, I'll be rest assured that some other people, not only in Anambra, will also copy him.
Okay.
It's good. Is a good step
in the right direction. Okay, the story in the Vanguard newspaper says angry Anambra residents react as only 50 guests allowed at Soludo's inauguration, which will be happening later today. Let's move on. In the leadership newspaper, amended bill banks to report 5 million naira transaction in writing to EFCC. All commercial banks in the country had to report in writing to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, any individual transaction that is up to 5 million naira if President Muhammadu Buhari signs the bill into law. This is as the Senate yesterday passed the bill to amend the Money Laundering Act 2011. Good morning, Bright Richard.
Yeah, good morning to you. And
it's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so your reaction once you come to the bank to transact, okay, and your transaction goes above 5 million naira, not verbally this time around, bank officials are to report you in writing to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This is in a bid to fight corruption.
I was thinking that bill had been on, because if you go to some commercial banks, you will see it clearly stated, this anti-money laundering act, that for individuals, transaction above 5 million naira will be reported to the EFCC. Then for corporate body, I think about 10 million naira or thereabout. So it's not as if the bank will have to write, they delay the customer. I think it's more or less like a notification that a particular transaction is going on. So maybe the AFCC, they may have their watch list or whatever, and if they need to put a pen on that transaction, or there's an issue with that account, I think it's a good development in the sense that to control some financial inflows, either money being received or money being sent out. So, but I was thinking that this particular system have been working in the bank.
Of course, it's an amendment that the National Assembly is making to that particular bill, Money Laundering Act 2011. But let's look at, if we have this, just as you have observed, it's written on the walls of some banks. But do you think the banks will follow through? 250,000 naira is the fine should any bank not report such. And of course, EFCC eventually gets to know. Do you think 250 naira as a fine is okay?
Yeah, 250,000 naira for as a fine to a particular transaction, or for a particular transaction being not following the due process. I see it. Maybe it's a way. Government have their way of setting up means of raking money into their coffers or thereabout. But we should first of all look at the major reason for this particular bill, because it has been there. This particular notice has been in most commercial banks, and I don't think some of them, or majority of them, have been following it to the letter. They may just put it there. Some of this KYC, your customers, and you have been transacting in as much you don't want to delay them. And if there was a particular bank, I got to know that they have this kind of like, accounts, they have different class. There's a particular class of account that has a particular app that allows some customer to transact in billions. So I don't know how the ES is going to look into that particular area, because that particular app is not even common to you and I. You cannot find it on the Play Store. It was a very high classic information I got to know. You can't find it in Play Store that allowed them to do a single transaction in billions. So if there are ways they can be, a man who wants to defraud may not want to defraud with as low as 5 million or thereabout. So they need a bigger channel. So the EFCC should look into those areas so that they can really control some of these excesses.
Okay, but the information is that if you transact above 5 million naira in your bank has the mandate to officially report you to EFCC.
I think they should notify, because that word reports as if you are trying to tag the customers. I think it's more of notification that this transaction just occurred.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about education. In the Nigerian Tribune, 2-month strike extension, NANS declares ASU real enemy of students. That story is in the Nigerian Tribune. One of the headlines on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper today says, strike, NANS gives federal government ASU 2 weeks deadline to open varsities. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has given the federal government and the striking academic staff union of universities 2 weeks deadlines to resolve their differences and return students to the classrooms. This came as the umbrella body of Nigerian students fled the extension of a 4-week strike earlier declared by the university lecturers, saying by the action, ASU was the real enemy of Nigerian students. Okay, so the students are speaking up. Larry.
The students are not speaking. They are not speaking. They are students when they are in school. They are no longer students when they are outside school.
Really?
No, you know it now. You know it. They are students when they are in school. That is when they say a body of students. But they are no students. They are no longer, the law does not see them as students when they are outside school. I think it is the government they should appeal to, and they have done their best. And you know, when they try to talk to or have a word or an exchange with or interface or interaction with the Minister of Education, Alhaji Adamu, and what they said there infuriated him. He walked out on them, though he came back to say no, he didn't walk out on them. But the point is the fact that it's the government that should look into what the demands of us are since 2000 and what? So it's, is it 2009?
2009.
You see, and this is 2022, almost 11 years thereafter, or 13. It's the government of the day that should look into that and just see the way they could bring us back to campus. Because the students, when they leave campus, they are in their respective homes, and it could be devastating in the sense that some other people they get engaged in what people will say idle things, and before you know it, they become a burden on the nation. The issue of answers 2020 is very much with us, and we know that how they came together, and outside school there was no control. But when they are in school and they are protesting, they have their vice chancellor that will go and talk to them. It has happened severally. Come, let us discuss this. It is when they become violent outside school that the government will now take over. And the history of student activism is such that it has never helped the nation.
Student activism.
Activism, yes.
It has never helped the nation.
I want to start by saying that for those, for the elders, I was not part of it. The Ali Mongo team, Ali Mamadou Ali, Ali Mongo. So you remember what happened where Kunle Adepeju lost his life in UI, and it spread like that. I remember the issue of IBB, the SAP. For some, of course, I participated in that one, and the disruption that it caused the nation, the disruption was enormous. The leaders were not even free to move around.
But Larry,
I remember I came to Ife, and we had to chase him away. The issue of Patrick Sokolu, former chief of naval staff, we call him Patrick Sokolu because it was at Ife, they threw stones at him. He used to be Patrick Kosoni, but the student changed his name to Patrick Sokolu because they threw stones at him.
But the belief of some persons is that one of the reasons while Nigerians are being seen today as docile people is the fact that the NLC, the TUC, and NANS, they are not as active as they used to be.
Definitely, yes, that is true. I did say during the days of Somonu, during the days of even the very mild Patrick Pafeawu, who wanted to be vice president to Abiola. So the things were moving on very well. Even the days of the mild days of former governor of Edo State, Oshiomhole too. During those days when fuel hikes, price in fuel were raised up, or prices in fuel were raised up, you see they be mobilizing the workers of Nigeria to protest. But hardly do you see protests now. Even mere dancing, calling people out to dance, they just to express their feelings that we no go agree. There's nothing of such again. 2 weeks ago, NANS embarked on blocking of some major roads along the line. They diverted their attention to some other things that didn't concern them. The point I'm trying to raise is that we don't have student activism any longer. The semblance of it was 2020 when we had NSAS thing, and they were majorly the ones that were affected. Though they said some people it was the AUBOS that actually funded that thing, but it was properly organized outside the school. So the government should be looking at it from that point of view, that you are driving them. They must have learned. It's just like fighting a war. If you fought a war last year and another war occurs this year, you will have learned from that war last year. Then you will be more advanced in your organization and in the way you prepare yourself. this other time, if you allow them to organize, that could be an end to the issue called governance. It could be very well. People are angry outside the students, and if they join hands together, the students outside the school, the people within the policy polity, it could be devastating. Okay. Because nearly everybody is affected. Even those who are endemically supportive of what is going on as government in Nigeria will also be affected. Why? Because there's no, if you are the only person around, you will find 6 or 10 people surrounding you that are not pleased with what is going on. Who will be pleased with a price of diesel at 700 naira per liter? Who will be pleased with petroleum at 250? Though in some cases, we have to acknowledge that in some cases, like yesterday, I bought for 162 at NNPC, and I didn't have to keep for a very long time, maybe under 50 minutes. You understand? And we told our listeners that disruption in supply chain could take some 3-4 weeks, but it seems to be coming down. But the policy of government to say again that we have successfully removed subsidy in power sector. You know, they said they removed 600 billion naira. So we are going to do that of the petroleum in phases.
Okay, Larry,
and subterraneanly too. So that means we might not at this point in time in the nearest future have that price sustained, that with the 210, 250, 230, the variant of prices that we are having now, we might have to live with it.
Okay,
and if people are pleased with it, so be it, because we need to free ourselves. But if people are not, that could be another flashpoint.
All right.
And let me just add, it's not only in Nigeria. People might not like it. I watched video even in Germany, somebody brought a video telling a Yoruba lady saying, come, it is now 1,400 naira a liter. Even in Germany, it used to be less than 1 euro before.
Okay, so your take is that NANS should appeal to the federal government.
It is the government that they should appeal to. The attack could not be directed to ASU.
Because they are describing ASU as the real.
ASU, you see, the point is this. We have discovered that strike is the only pay weapon they can use in Nigeria, also by Black Africa subcontinent. But the point is that who is the one holding us? It is the government. Government should just sit down with them, have a middle line or a middle course, so that the students will be barred.
They've given both parties 2 weeks to resolve this crisis.
But it's not ASU. Sincerely, it's not ASU.
Okay, let's move on, because we have other stories to look at. Reps seek automatic employment for first-class graduates. That's in the leadership. Also, in the cable, you have that particular story. Reps canvass automatic employment for first-class graduates. That's in the cable. House of Representatives yesterday resolved that the Federal Ministry of Education should liaise with relevant government agencies to ensure employment for first-class graduates of Nigerian tertiary institutions. The House also mandated the committees on tertiary education and services and labor and employment and productivity to ensure compliance. Right.
Yeah, it's a good one to encourage academic excellence, but at the same time too, they've not addressed the real problem of unemployment, because there must be vacancy for you to employ. Let them employ first-class graduate. It will make more students to strive to become first class in their various institutions. But at the same time, what will not happen to second class, 2-1 and 2-2? So they should deal with the main issue. What they are saying is very good, and I commend it. It's 100% okay. But there's still another issue of unemployment. Unemployment is on the increase, so they should also look at, in as much as you are passing a bill or whatever to absorb first-class graduates, you should look at ways to create more employment, because if you are employing them, definitely the question is, are there vacancies in those government institutions that will absorb these people, or are they just going there to add up to the numbers of people sitting in the office day by day doing nothing, and at the end of the day the intellectual knowledge they've gathered from their school will now be swept under the carpet? So if they can create employment, So that we won't even be talking about a bill or whatever to absorb first class graduates.
In the past, when you come out with a first class, your school will retain you.
No, it's not.
It is not all schools, but that's the common knowledge. But this time around, I think I once raised it, a situation where it used to be a very difficult thing to make first class in the past. But today, you have in a session, a school, a federal institution, having over 100 first class graduates, as it were. What happens? So, consider the number of federal institutions that we have. The government may have more than enough to buy.
I said there's no. They should have dealt with the true resource of the problem by creating employment. Because if you're having, because first class will now almost become like pure water.
It's so common nowadays.
It's common, yes. Because I remember what my father used to tell me.
Nigerian students are more brilliant. I mean, in this generation, isn't it?
That's what
isn't that the implication?
Yeah, brilliant. Even the little ones, my little boy of how many years can operate phone.
It's also a first class.
It's becoming a first class.
Okay, so
like my father used to tell me that in those days, that once they are graduating, you will see complaints coming around to pick students. So they don't need the government to push them because there is vacancy. So let them deal with that particular area.
Well, how do you justify a situation? There are many first-class graduates roaming the streets today.
Will they going to absorb those ones too?
Okay, Larry,
maybe I
quickly.
will have to go back. If they put that policy, I'm sorry to say, I have to go back. I have my own too. And that was some 30 years away there about. That's why if they didn't engage us then, not even scholarship at IFE, not even a scholarship. And we're not that many there. I remember in my own faculty, we were 4. Faculty of Agric.
They made first class.
Yes, only 4. And we're not engaged. And none of us, okay, a lady is back in the university now, maybe she's a professor. All of that. So the point is this, you have raised a vital fund. A law school produced 120-something first class.
First class.
So where are you going to engage them? Is that because that is why they are creating so many law schools that cannot be sustained? Another additional 6? I don't know whether you understand. You have raised a very vital point. Even private universities, if they are not restricted, private universities, we have close to about 205 now, or thereabout, universities in Nigeria, and they are producing. They are producing close to 50 every now and then, particularly in technological faculties or colleges. Electrical, electronics, mechanical, civil, they produce close to 50 each school. So multiply by the number of students. Do they have vacancies to accommodate them? There's always a tradition. If we want to establish a tradition in United Kingdom, I know those who are in civil service are from Oxbridge. That means Oxford University and Cambridge University. They now say Oxbridge, and it has a minimum of 2-1. Some of them will have gone to or attended what they call Eton Primary School. That school there. So the tradition is there, but we don't seem to have tradition. In United States of America, you have Ivy League universities, about 7 of them. You understand? The MIT, Harvard, John Hopkins, and so many like that. Where are our own Ivy League universities?
Don't we have? Where will you place you are? Where will you?
We don't class them. All we know is that first generation university, second generation university. You must have excelled. You must have excelled. So if you have excelled and they are trying, who are those buying the products of their research efforts? Nobody. That is where we have the problem. We must establish a tradition. You understand? Establishing a tradition is to retain some of them that are of high quality, put them there, let them produce.
Okay.
That some people are in academics who don't have business being in academics because they are well connected. That's
how they go there.
That is the point. Because they are well connected, they don't fight. Because you left first class and you are taking 2-1 to come and lecture. What will be the product that you produce? You see, I'm not downgrading anybody, but we know that garbage in is garbage out. Whatever you
and these are the lecturers that will not want to produce a first class because they had a 2-1.
Okay, Larry and Bright, Let's just go on. We can be on these, and I still want us to touch some stories. For instance, I'm going to put these to Larry right away. Inside of you has that particular report, and it has to do with Lautech. Remember, yesterday we started this particular issue, but I didn't raise this aspect because it was still on the social media. This time around, okay, it's look real. Universities of technology run other courses. Lautech alumni kick against renaming institution. And I engaged an alumni, alumni member, okay, of Lautech yesterday, and he confirmed it, saying it's true that they are not in support of renaming Lautech. So, inside of your says, universities of technology run other courses. Lautech alumni kick against renaming institution. Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech Ogbomosho Alumni Association has warned Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State against the proposed renaming of the institution. The Alumni Association explained that the thousands of graduates of the institution will suffer in their workplaces if the governor goes ahead to rename the institution. Months after attaining sole ownership, the Oyo State government, led by Makinde, decided to rename the institution from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech, to Ladoke Akintola University, Larry, your take?
No, they don't have a say.
The Alumni Association does not have a say.
It does not have a say. You see, it's obvious that you are the parent of your child. You can decide to name that child the way you want it. See, that is, with due respect to them, they are passed out from Lautech. When Ife was created or was founded, it was University of Ife. But in 1988, it was renamed as Obafemi Awolowo University. Those who passed through Ife thought the name, the quality would be lost. But I was I was one of the first set that attended Obafemi Awolowo University. So my certificate or my letter of admission read Obafemi Awolowo University. That was 1988. So those who attended University of Ife, what is the same Ife? It is the same Ife. It remains great Ife today. That is one. So I attended Obafemi Awolowo University, but those who passed out before me attended University of Ife. That is one. The renaming, they didn't consult the government. The government didn't consult them before it was put in place. This is Lautech, Ladoke Akintola University. And it was named after somebody from Ogbomosho who happened to be the second premier of the Western region. So it's now going to go confessional. You know, we did mention yesterday that there are some universities of technology, particularly from the East, running law courses. But it got to a stage, the law school authority said, no, you are meant to be a technological university. Why running law courses? You have to go. They didn't allow them their quota in law school.
According to this alumni association, they are saying that technological schools
they also run other courses. Even the Lautech runs management school courses. Yes, at the master's level. At the master's level, true. That is one. But because there's no engaging authority monitoring that, so they have to look for money. When money is not forthcoming from the government, they tell you when you get to, you are the governor. Okay, so you are not innovative. You understand? And if you get your certificate and you take it to your place of work, they don't reject it. It is MBA. From which university? Ladoke Akintola University. Fine. It is MBA. It is MBA. They run MBA. I know somebody who finished with me from Faculty of Social Sciences, now Faculty of Economics and Banking and Finance, University of Ibadan here, who is a professor there in Lautech. That means he did not study technology. He studied what? Economics. We both studied economics at the University of Ibadan. He's a lecturer. He's a professor of economics in their management area. But the point is this: Ladoke Akintola University, they have Faculty of Agri too. Purely Faculty of Agri, not agricultural.
Being taken to Isane.
You understand. So the point, they are right. But when it comes to making it conventional, and the father or the parent decides to do this, it has not changed Ladoke Akintola. Ladoke Akitola is still there. It's a university now, conventional university.
Okay, the two lawmakers from Ogbomoso, I raised their point yesterday, but let's move on. Let's see what the government will do. But the law, the bill seeking to rename that institution has passed second reading in the Oyo State House of Assembly. We'll go on our first round of commercial break. We'll be back.
Look, there's no easier way to say this. Slow internet is bad for business. So, if you want what's best, get the Airtel Smartbox outdoor unit for SMEs.
Indeed, do business at internet speed of up to 200 megabytes per second with the Airtel Smartbox outdoor unit for SME and enjoy instant access to other amazing offers. Dial 1010 toll free or send an email to airtelbusiness@ng.airtel.com to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Brent Mall. Oh yes, Brent Mall is your one-stop solution to all your shopping needs. Get the best products and services every day at Brent Mall. Go ahead and share beautiful moments with friends and families as you shop. Play games in arcade. Eat the best meals. Have fun at Brent Supermarkets. Enjoy the moments with loved ones at Brent Supermarkets. Enjoy rich, sumptuous, tasty delicacies at Brent Eateries. Treat yourself to a wholesome experience of rich, yummy ice cream and smoothies at the Brent Mall Ice Cream Lounge. We've got the best for you always. Visit Brent's Bakeries today for your daily fresh bread. At Brent's Boutique, we've got the finest blend of luxury, elegance, and style for your fashion delight. Brent electronic gadgets are quality, durable, and reliable. Get yours today. Shop with us today at Brent Mall, Apata, Ibadan. Brent Mall, Old Ife Road, Ibadan. And also at Brent Mall, Taki, Ogbomoso. Check out our social media pages at Brent Supermarkets. Brent Mall, stay healthy, stay happy.
Wo sórí ó ṣe jẹ́ lèmi ni pé ẹni tó bá kọ́kọ́ bọ́ sí ìgboro ni ó ṣe pàtàkì kéèyàn wà kó máa ṣe nítorí akitiyan ò lópin kó ọ̀n sọ̀hún tààrà wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ fẹ́ni tó bá ní nǹkan ṣe nítorí pé iwájú ọba ibi tí ń lé sí kò sáyè fúnfà sẹ́yìn láéláé bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn torí náà báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ṣe lónìí MTN.
We are the students of St. Patrick's.
Spako is 60. Yes, the St. Patrick's Grammar School, Orita Bashore Ibadan, is 60. And the Diamond Jubilee Founders Day anniversary is this week. It is therefore our great pleasure to invite all old boys of Spako, both home and abroad. This Founders Day celebration, which shall commence on the 17th through 19th March 2022. There shall be a mass at the St. Patrick's Catholic Church on 17th, followed by the AGM of the Old Boys Association. All the activities in the school shall continue on 18th March, followed by the gala night stock luncheon at the Professor Theophilus Ogunlesi Multipurpose Hall at UCH by 12 noon on the 19th March 2022. Your anniversary dues and donation can still be paid to 0252 22 76 82. St. Patrick's Grammar School Old Boys Association 68th anniversary account at Wema Bank PLC. Call the Chairman Public Committee Isiaka Akibode Abayomi on 08055240475 for more inquiry. Up school, up Spako.
Welcome back, everyone. The program is Rise and Shine here on Ibr92.5 FM Ibadan. Residents fume over handling of road project in Ibadan. Government want to kill businesses Oyo inside, as the report. Inside Oyo, alternative routes should have been created. Ibadan resident lament handling of road construction. Let me take the account of Oyo inside. Residents, especially those who have businesses along Ibadan Southeast and on our local government areas of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, are not happy with the ways road constructions are being handled in the ancient city. The expression of anger, they told newsmen, became necessary following the untold hardship the demolition of some culverts and link bridges have caused. According to them, alternative routes should have been created long before the project started. Right.
Yes, that should have been a kind of like a well thought out plan before embarking on any project, because you cannot just because you want to create a road or construct a road, you just cut off people from that community for a period of time. Mind you, there are businesses in that place that people rely on their daily income. And if you don't create alternative route, because before you do a particular route, you need to sit down, make your plan. Some of them may not even create alternative route, but the gutters they will dig, are going to cut off some people, some businesses in that area. Some, it's not just the gutter, it's the dust itself. I remember that dry season period. There are some persons that could not go to their shop all through the period because the dust was unbearable. So these are things I feel the government, and not just the government, the contractors as well handling this project should have come up with a alternative ways of either to reduce the dust, the drainage they are constructing, not to use it to cut off some businesses, or because these people rely on these things for their daily bread, and not that they are going to be paid compensation. I've not seen where they are constructing road and the residents are being given compensation over the hardship this road are causing on them. And these are environmental issues that even the resident can pick up against the contractor of this particular construction or this particular site.
Okay.
So let them do what they can to ease the suffering of the people.
All right, quickly, Larry, let's look at this. 2023, don't elect president older than 60 years. Tambuwal tells Nigerians.
He's paving way for himself.
He's paving way for himself.
Because he's less than 60. And he's also a presidential aspirant.
And let's look at what the pen pushing says.
Like weeding some people away so as to be prominent.
Look at what pen pushing says. Don't vote for president older than 60 years in 2023. Tambuwal tells Nigerians as 69-year-old Tinubu continues political consultation.
It's okay. Section 131 is so clear about it. If you want to be a president, you must be a citizen of Nigeria. Yes, you must be born in Nigeria, but you must be a Nigerian by birth. Then section B said you must have been 40 years old. That is, must have been 40 years old. So from 40 to eternity, if you can live to 1,000, there's no limitation.
There is no ceiling.
That is section 131A. You must be a citizen, but you must be a Nigerian citizen by birth. B, you must have been at least 40 years of age. There's minimum constitutionally,
I think,
but there's no maximum. No,
age.
It is governor that is 35.
Okay.
Governor is 35. That is, no, so, but the president, section 131, is what? Is governor section 177B. You must have been at least 35 years of age, and it follows like that. But in president, you must be at least 40 years of age. So
this coming from Tambuwal.
Maximum.
Okay.
No, and he's a lawyer, you should know that. But he's canvassing a moral angle. Moral angle in the sense that he's also an aspirant. And if I think some people are formidable, I would have to tag them so as to pave way for myself.
Okay.
On the basis of this, he does not have. He said, let me not use that language that he does not have a say. It is for Nigerians to choose who they want.
Okay.
What is his name? Trump was how many years old? Biden is 76 now, going to 78, 77, 78. And Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of House of Representatives in United States, is 83.
And she's been there since only God knows when.
83. 80 what? 83. Nancy Pelosi.
That woman doesn't look her age.
No. Nancy Pelosi is 83. You understand? But in some other climes too. I know of New Zealand, I think it's 32. A lady there. New Zealand is 32, and somewhere in the Bosnia area, another lady is just 38.
Okay.
So, hey, and in Denmark, in one of the Scandinavian countries too, they have ladies there. They have one lady there.
Okay.
So, and all over, May.
Theresa May.
Theresa May. Theresa May it should be about 58. I'm not sure. So you can't just say that. Though
okay, so
sometimes it
you
is
disagree with Tambuwal. All right.
Let Nigerians elect
who they want
to.
Okay,
let them be very, very. The person we want somebody who will take us from this wood.
Okay.
And put us in the global developmental arena.
So I want to believe we have the numbers to call on. The phone lines are buzzing. But power outage, we have restored collapsed national grid, says Minister. Relief is on the way. Buhari apologizes to Nigerians over petrol scarcity and power outage. So the president has apologized to Nigerians. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Ami.
Thank you.
My name is Adeshu from UI.
You're welcome.
So, who said the who has anyone Nigerian people. You can't see the people who are those guys. Who are afraid. Even those who mobilized us in 2010 against Jonathan, they are still in this country now. But they know the kind of government we have. People will fire anybody and they will say, look at Lagos electrically. So they educate. Now that Buhari is apologizing, and I just unfortunately that Buhari created everything like he met on time. He have left it like that. He could not even make people something like he met on time. Shame on him. That's the best of the day.
Oh, we really need to be very careful. Adeshiyomola, we're talking of the president. Let's be very careful, okay? Let's be very, very careful. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, my brother. This is Dr. Wale.
Dr. Wale Fashakin, welcome, sir.
I don't quite agree with the analyst there on the naming of loud saying that the person doesn't have to say. I am the president of the All Alumni University, the umbrella over all universities, either state, federal, or private. What came in mind University of Lagos when Jonathan renamed it after FQR, the alumni came. Alumni is the family because they also have been constructed. Let them know reasons why that thing should be. You cannot just come. Alumni that's the alma mater. It's not only changing that name alone. The government is going to spend a lot of money in putting that they are in place. Please don't ever say alumni doesn't have a say in the alma mater. In the alma mater, and it should be consulted. It should be done to the alma mater. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Wale Fashakin, for your time on the program this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You are on. I've picked your call. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, good morning.
Thank you.
And when we dwell on the...
You forget to remind us of your name.
Sometimes when I see us celebrating on trivial issues, something that doesn't worry, I wonder, what is the difference from university technology and university? That's not it. So what is the difference? They call you there already. This is the issue. The problem is that we only digress our mind to something that's not the issue. When I finished, I graduated, did a job years ago. The woman said, I don't want, I want to go.
Mr. Anthony, I'm afraid I may have to let you go. That network isn't clear at all. Hello, good morning.
Are you having good morning?
Okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Thank you. Bayo. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, my brother in the house. I want to clear something. Before, I want Mr. Larry to explain and clear it to me. It is issue of this law or lawful or whatever. The governor knows what to do and he will do it. Nobody can stop him. If you want to choose VC, the day invite alumni or alma, how they call. If you want to employ lecturer, the day. Hello, are you hearing me, sir?
Go ahead.
See, all this alma, this thing, all students, it is just to, if the school authority allow, we just allow for sake. What my brother just said is, it's true. They have no mouth. If you just allow it, we allow it. If you don't do anything in school, just tell me that